One fateful evening, Marie Holmes' life completely changed. The news of her winning $188 million in the lottery struck like a brilliant bolt of lightning, lighting up hope for a brighter future. However, fate turns ironic when her pastor, famous for his kindness and generosity, has a dark plan that very night. Marie, unaware of the dark plot brewing, leisurely enjoys the rare moment of peace during the day. She sat on the sofa, her feet resting on the table, attentively watching the lottery program on TV. The volume is lowered so as not to wake the sleeping children. She knew that this quiet time wouldn't last long, because tomorrow promised to be full of busy work. Marie longed to relax and let her mind drift away in these rare moments. Before falling asleep, Marie has one important ritual: checking lottery results. The lottery ticket she bought that morning was now in her hand, next to the remote control. Marie's eyes were glued to the TV screen, watching each number dialed by the host. Her heart beat faster with each passing second. Hope mixed with nervousness crept into my mind. However, when the winning numbers were announced, Marie silently sighed in disappointment. Once again, luck was not on her side. Maybe I should stop wasting money on nonsense like this, Marie said to herself. Buying lottery tickets was just a spontaneous decision, stemming from the salesperson's confident promise about lucky numbers. Even so, Marie still decided to watch the entire show. Her gaze once again turned to the screen, where the winner was being announced. The lucky person's radiant smile shined on the screen, making Marie feel sad. But suddenly, something strange happened. Marie realized that the numbers on her lottery ticket matched exactly the lucky numbers. Unable to believe her eyes, she hastily checked again. The truth is undeniable: Marie won the lottery. Joy burst into her heart, dispelling all previous sadness. $188 million, a huge number enough to completely change the life of her and her family. However, Marie's joy did not last long. The pastor's dark plot gradually reveals itself, sowing doubt and anxiety into her mind. Marie's heart pounded in her chest as the balls danced on the lottery screen, revealing each lucky number. Her eyes were glued to the screen, watching each number dialed by the host, waiting for a miracle to happen. And then, the miracle happened. Each number on Marie's lottery ticket exactly matched the winning numbers. Joy burst into her heart, dispelling all previous sadness. $188 million, a huge number enough to completely change the life of her and her family. Marie sat like a statue for several minutes, unable to believe what had just happened. She just became a millionaire. Joy crept into every cell of her body, making her forget all fatigue and worries. Unable to contain her emotions, Marie danced around the living room, screaming with joy and punching the air. Her cheers echoed throughout the house, waking up the sleeping children. "Mom, what's going on?" a little girl asked, rubbing her eyes. "Mommy won the lottery." Marie hugged her daughter, tears of happiness rolling down her cheeks. Immediately, Marie called Pastor Nick, a close friend of the family. Pastor Nick was extremely happy when he heard that Marie had won the lottery. He congratulated her and her family, and affirmed that this was God's blessing. Marie was so emotional that she choked up. She thanked Pastor Nick for his words of encouragement and promised to donate 10% of the winnings to the church. Marie's joy of victory spread everywhere. Her family and friends were all extremely happy and proud for her. Marie knows that her life will change completely, but the most important thing to her is that her family will always be happy and peaceful. However, hidden behind the extreme joy are dark plots brewing. Pastor Nick, a seemingly good friend, has his own plans. The next day, Marie brought a mixture of skepticism and hope to the lottery office. Still lingering with the fear of being rejected, of being told that it was all a mistake, Marie walked in with her heart pounding. Her fear grew as she imagined the prospect of her hopes collapsing, not knowing what to do if she didn't receive the money. However, everything went more smoothly than Marie imagined. soon, she was holding a check worth $88 million after taxes. A feeling of overwhelm washed over Marie as she held the heavy check. Joy burst out, dispelling all previous doubts and worries. The check served as confirmation that she had truly become a millionaire. Extremely happy, Marie took photos with lottery company staff, showing off the check in front of the camera as if announcing to the world her luck. For Marie, this huge amount of money was completely new, the first time she or anyone she knew owned such a large sum of money. Marie's life was always filled with difficulties. Growing up in a poor family, when she became a mother, the burden of life became even heavier on her shoulders. For young children always need attention, her boyfriend is entangled in a legal vortex, everything makes Marie tired. However, Marie never collapsed in the face of adversity. She is always aware of her responsibility to her children and is willing to do everything to bring them a better life. Marie does many jobs to make a living. Even though it's hard and difficult, she always tries to complete her tasks well, as long as her children are happy. And now, a miracle has come to Marie, completely changing the lives of her and her family. The amount of $88 million opens up countless new opportunities, promising a brighter future. Marie, a woman who always tries her best to take care of her family, no matter how hard she works, she cannot escape the spiral of difficulties. There were times when life got so bad that they didn't have enough food to eat. Misfortune continued when Marie was laid off because the company was in crisis. To make matters worse, a few days later, she also lost her second job. Marie's family's financial situation was in dire straits, they did not know how to cover their most basic needs. Marie was desperate, not knowing how to support her family until the next payday. The fear of not having food and not having a home left her exhausted. However, a miracle came to Marie when Pastor Nick, a kind friend of the family, appeared. Unable to watch Marie and her children suffer, Pastor Nick decided to help them. On the church pulpit, Pastor Nick shared with believers about the difficulties Marie was going through. He told about Marie losing her job, about her family's lack of food, and about being evicted from home. Pastor Nick's appeal touched the hearts of the believers. Many people were touched by Marie's situation and were willing to help. They donated money, even small amounts, to support Marie and her family through difficult times. Thanks to the community's cooperation, Marie was able to buy food and temporarily solve the housing problem. Everyone's kindness gave Marie hope and faith in life. However, Marie knows that this is only a temporary solution. She needs to find a new job to ensure her family's long life. With determination and extraordinary energy, Marie began her journey to find a new job. With the support of Pastor Nick and the community, Marie believes that she will soon overcome difficulties and bring a better life to her family. Thanks to the help of Pastor Nick and the church community, Marie was able to pay off her debt, buy food, and feed her children. Finally, she can sleep well without worrying about financial burdens. However, Marie's happiness was short-lived. An unexpected event occurred and her life almost collapsed. One of Marie's sons, a small and adorable boy, suddenly became seriously ill. In the middle of the night, the boy woke up with writhing stomach pains. The sound of her child's sobs made Marie feel sad. The boy clutched his stomach, groaning in intense pain. The baby's body was hot and he could barely move. Marie panicked, fearing that her son was about to die. Immediately, Marie took her son to the hospital. After a period of examination, doctors diagnosed the baby with severe stomach ulcers and bleeding. The only treatment is surgery. If surgery is not performed promptly, the baby's condition will become increasingly worse. Marie was dumbfounded when she heard this news. She was recently unemployed, and the money the church helped her with was used to buy food and pay off debt. The cost of her son's surgery was beyond Marie's ability to pay. Scared and desperate, Marie didn't know what to do. Once again, she turned to Pastor Nick, who has always been a strong spiritual support for the family. Touched by Marie's situation, Pastor Nick once again called for help from the community. On the church pulpit, he shared the story of Marie's son's serious illness and asked for support from his followers. Pastor Nick's appeal touched everyone's hearts. Church members joined hands to donate, even small amounts, to help Marie and her son. In just a few weeks, the money needed for the surgery was raised. Pastor Nick gave the check to Marie, giving her hope and faith in her son's survival. Marie's son's surgery was a great success. Thanks to the help of the church community, the baby boy was saved and has a chance to be healthy again. Marie burst into happiness, extremely grateful to the kind hearts who helped her family during difficult times. The joy doubled when Marie realized that she had become a millionaire. She couldn't believe this unexpected luck and vowed to never forget her gratitude to those who helped her. Pastor Nick and the church were the first people Marie thought of, because they had given her more care and support than her troubled boyfriend. With a huge amount of money in hand, Marie decided to change life for herself and her children. She bought a luxury house in the most expensive area of the city. Fully furnished it and moved in immediately. A new life full of material things made Marie feel happy and satisfied. However, Marie's joy did not last long. One day before visiting Pastor Nick to thank her, she received bad news about her boyfriend. He was arrested on felony charges and listed Marie as his emergency contact. Marie went to the police station to see her boyfriend. Seeing him in a haggard appearance, begging for forgiveness, Marie felt sad and sympathetic. As the father of her children, Marie could not abandon him in difficult times. Marie is faced with a difficult choice: help her boyfriend who is always in trouble or keep her promise to Pastor Nick and the church. Marie's decision will affect the lives of herself, her children and those around her. Marie visited her boyfriend in prison, hearing him beg for help. In the end, out of sympathy and responsibility, Marie paid a huge bail amount of $3 million to get him out. However, she warns him that this is the last time she will help, and he must deal with his own troubles in the future. This incident affected the plans Marie had made to help the church. Instead of the promised 10% of her winnings, Marie was only able to spend $500,000 on the church. In addition, Marie proposed a new project. She would sponsor any project the church chose, as long as it did not exceed $8 million. This is her way of showing gratitude for the church's help during difficult times. However, Pastor Nick was not satisfied with Marie's proposal. He was angry because Marie promised 10% of the winnings, but only gave him $500,000. He thought Marie was cheating and disrespecting what he had done for her. Pastor Nick asked Marie to send $8 million to the church and affirmed that he would decide how to use the money. He thinks he deserves more for helping Marie achieve the success she has today. Marie was confused by Pastor Nick's request. She affirmed that she did not promise 10% of the winnings, but only promised to share a portion. The $500,000 she gave him was a personal gift, not part of the 10%. The conflict between Marie and Pastor Nick escalates. Marie faces a difficult choice: keep her promise to Pastor Nick or carry out her own project to help the community. Marie's decision will affect her relationship with Pastor Nick and the church, and will shape the future of her lucky money. Pastor Nick was not satisfied with Marie's decision. He decided to sue her in court. Pastor Nick asserted that he deserved a portion of Marie's winnings, not only because of what he had done for her in the past, but also because of Marie's promise. Pastor Nick presented evidence of how he helped Marie: receipts, bank transactions showing the amount of money the church donated to Marie, and also the fact that he contributed to helping Marie's son have surgery, art and pay rent. He argued that without his help, Marie and her children would be in dire straits. Pastor Nick's lawyer presented a convincing argument, asserting that Marie had broken her promise and caused damages to Pastor Nick. This lawsuit made Marie extremely sad and disappointed. She couldn't believe that the man she once trusted could treat her like that. The lawsuit also caused division within the church community. Some people support Marie, believing that she has the freedom to decide how to use her money. Others supported Pastor Nick, saying he deserved to be rewarded for what he did. The lawsuit increasingly attracts public attention. Everyone is curious to know who will win and what will be the fate of the lucky money. It was Marie's turn to present a defense before the court. Beginning with a heartfelt thank you to Pastor Nick for what he had done for her in the past, Marie affirmed that the church's donation to her was due to the generosity of its members, not thanks to Pastor Nick's efforts. Next, Marie revealed the shocking truth about Pastor Nick, shocking the whole court. She said that when the church first donated money to her, Pastor Nick took more than 60% of the money for himself, leaving her with the rest. When Marie's son fell ill, Pastor Nick continued to repeat his greedy behavior. Although the congregation generously donated 3 times the amount requested by the hospital, Pastor Nick pocketed most of the money and gave Marie just enough for the surgery. He later reported to the congregation that he had fully supported Marie, hiding his own greed. Marie kept silent because she was grateful for Pastor Nick's help in saving her son and did not want to create more trouble. However, Pastor Nick's bottomless greed continues to show when he sues Marie for more money. Marie decided to expose the truth in court to protect herself and expose Pastor Nick's true face. Marie's testimony shocked and angered members of the congregation. They couldn't believe that someone they had always respected could act so despicably. The conclusive evidence and Marie's testimony pushed Pastor Nick into a corner. He was forced to admit his greed and face the punishment of the law. The lawsuit ended in a victory for Marie. She gets back the money that rightfully belongs to her and plans to use it to carry out a project to help the community as promised to the congregation. Marie continued her testimony, exposing Pastor Nick's dark plot. She asserted that Pastor Nick did not help her out of kindness, but only used her as a puppet to extort money from members of the congregation. Marie considered keeping quiet, but winning the lottery made the secret impossible to hide. Pastor Nick can no longer hide his greed. Marie knew full well that Pastor Nick only wanted her to send money so he could appropriate it and then pretend to donate it to the church. Pastor Nick's insatiable greed will never be satisfied. And Marie is determined not to let him take advantage of her any further. When the secret was exposed, the entire congregation was shocked and indignant. No one could believe that the pastor they respected could act so despicably. They were disappointed by the truth about Pastor Nick, and no longer trusted him. The lawsuit continued and ended in a resounding victory for Marie. Pastor Nick lost the case miserably and had to face severe consequences. He used the $500,000 Marie gave him to hire expensive lawyers and make luxury purchases. However, with his defeat in court, Pastor Nick had nothing to rely on. He bet everything on getting $8 million from Marie, and now he's completely bankrupt. Failure in court not only caused Pastor Nick to lose a large amount of money, but also caused him to lose the respect and trust of his congregation. No one wants to have anything to do with him anymore after the truth is revealed. Marie, a woman who was once in dire straits, now has a completely new life. Thanks to her courage, compassion and strong will, she overcame all difficulties and became an inspiration for many people. Marie's story begins when she encounters a major incident. Her son is seriously ill, her husband is unemployed, and he is in debt. Fortunately, the church community helped Marie through the most difficult times. However, Pastor Nick's greed broke Marie's faith in humanity. When Marie became a millionaire after winning the lottery, Pastor Nick sued her for a large sum of money. Marie bravely exposes Pastor Nick's greed in court. Marie's victory not only brought her justice but also regained the trust of the community. After the lawsuit, Pastor Nick was isolated and lost all credibility. On the contrary, Marie grew stronger and stronger. She funded projects chosen by church members, opened an organization to help the poor, built a park for the community, and used the remaining money to take care of her family. Marie doesn't let Pastor Nick's greed and frustration stop her from doing good. She is determined to help those in need, and takes that as her joy and purpose in life. Marie's story is a testament to the power of kindness and resilience. Despite the difficulties and challenges, Marie still maintains faith in people and always looks forward to good things. She is a shining example for all of us that anyone can overcome adversity and create a good life for themselves and those around them.